just want to close it off here talking a little bit about kind of some of the more subtle properties of chamomile. One of the main keys that I like to talk about, starting off with the tastes and the affinities and the actions and the energetics. And lastly, I like to talk about kind of some of the specific indications, which include some of the psychological properties of this plant. And so one of the things that a lot of folks know about chamomile is that it's really great for children. And one of the key indications for when this plant is really good is for, it applies to adults or it applies to children as well as to adults. And one of the key kind of patterns of this plant is like fussiness, or like a really moody fussiness. And we see that in children, but that can also be present in adults. And one of the main things, the way it's really specific for children, is when they fuss and cry and whine for something, like they want that toy or they want that book, and you hand it to them and then they just go, no, and they throw it away, right? And so it's kind of, there's this lack of appeasement, like there's this lack of contentment in the chamomile type, where it's like there's a want and a desire, and then when that is obtained, it's like, oh no, that's actually not what I wanted, And I think as adults, we, I can think of lots of situations where adults are like that too. And so that's that coupled with kind of this moody, fussy, but kind of anxious and nervous and kind of never content with things is the way I think of the chamomile person. And so when we think of kind of some of the astrological indications of this plant, there's a couple different planets that it can be placed under. A lot of folks place chamomile under the planet Mercury. We have this kind of feathered appearance to the plant, and it's kind of light and thin and skinny and kind of airy in the way that it kind of goes up and out. It's very aromatic in its property, which is a distinctly mercurial kind of nature. But the other planet that I tend to think of with this plant is Venus. And one of the reasons for that is Venus is the great relaxant, right? Venus is what promotes this state of calm ease within the mind, within the emotions, as well as within the body. And we see that with chamomile in the way that it is a relaxant, in the way that it's gently sedative, in the way that it's easing tension and spasm within the body. Chamomile is said to be Venus is said to be the most anodyne or pain relieving of the medicinal aspects of the planets. And we see that with chamomile in the way that it reduces heat and inflammation, so it can support pain due to that, as well as the pain associated with spasm, tension, and constriction. So I like to think of it as a Venusian plant. The really feathered appearance of the leaves is also a distinctly Venusian property. You see that in Mercury plants. You also see that in Venusian plants. And of course, just the beautiful smell of this remedy, that is such a distinctly Venus kind of quality, that sweet kind of perfumey smell to it. In terms of its ruling element, I really think of this as an air element plant because of the way it's working through the nervous system. The air element tends to rule the lungs. It rules the nervous system. It also rules that wind tension tissue state. So chamomile is really great for excess wind or air in the digestive system, that bloating, gas, as well as spasm and constriction. So that's all air element dynamics, as well as the fact that it's so volatile. There's so many essential oils in this plant. That's also very indicative of the air element property. And that is some of the dynamics that we see around this plant, just thinking through some of the planetary and elemental correspondences of this plant. And we're going to be picking all these chamomile flowers and taking it down into the lab and distilling some of that beautiful cobalt blue essential oil.